I don't think Hocus Pocus was an original.
Mm.
I thought it was it
It's not an
was
original?
in theaters.
Dude, I thought that thing was a Disney Channel original movie. The amount of times they played it, I remember watching a little kid do the kick. Do the jump split kick.
Wow. So the original Hocus Pocus was released in 1993 and came in 4th place on its opening weekend, only grossing $8 million. Dropped out of the top 10 after 2 weeks. It came out the same day as Free Willy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Free Willy was the shit.
Yeah. So it goes up against Free Willy and just gets slaughtered.
Well, yeah.
And then apparently becomes a cult, one of the cult status films.
Right.
You know? So that's interesting to see because I don't remember any of that. I just remember watching Hocus Pocus.
Okay.
But yeah, core memory unlocked. Free Willy.
Welcome, everybody, back to the Lando Project. So glad you can be joining us on this fine Tuesday morning, you connoisseurs of pop culture. Glad to have you. We have this is another episode of the Lando Project. I am, of course, your host, Lando, and I am always with the big man himself, BC, Big
My
Dog.
man. What's poppin', Big Dog? What's going on? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing well, man. I'm doing so good because we have a whole lot of stuff to talk about today as far as movie news.
We do.
We have a few off the tops, actually. So, in case you guys don't know, we always spend our evenings gathering all the movie news to present to you guys this morning. But sometimes the timing just isn't right. And sometimes things get released to us before we even have a chance to really prepare for it. And one of our off the tops that we have this morning is actually a rumor debunked. So, as you guys are aware, there's been a lot of drama going on around the Johnny Depp Amber Heard situation. Mainly particular, many fans have been creating an uprising to get their favorite pirate back in the Caribbean. Many people want to see Johnny Depp reprise his role as Captain Jack Sparrow. And, of course, we do know that they're kind of doing a female-led franchise. I believe Margot Robbie was tapped to lead that franchise. But then there was a rumor that kind of circulated last week that Johnny Depp was kind of going to be given an opportunity to kind of come back into the role. And there was a huge rumor. It was like a $300 million contract. BC, did you hear this rumor at all?
I did, man. I did. I saw it because I got, you know me, I am a huge Pirates of the Caribbean fan. I love those movies, with the exception of On Stranger Tides. I think that's the one that I'm not a huge fan of, but I really do love these. And I love Johnny Depp as Captain Jack. So, he famously said in that trial, would you go back if Disney offered you $300 million? Would you go back? And he's like, no, I would not. So, reports started coming out that now that everything's done and all that, they were keen on bringing him back, and they offered him $301 million.
Don't forget that
and
one.
I was like,
don't forget that
hilarious.
one. That's a sneaky $1 million.
That's right. I was like, A, that's hilarious. B, it's a little suspect.
Right.
And so you start looking into it, and his reps have come out and just been like, there's one quote going on. That's made up.
It's just made
That's
up.
the quote.
That's
made up.
That's it, guys. If you wanted to see Johnny Depp back as Captain Jack Sparrow, it's over. It's done. Nail in the coffin. Pretty much that's it. Yeah. His lawyers pretty much came out last.
Nail in the coffin.
Say that again.
I wouldn't say nail in the coffin. I don't doubt that maybe someday we could see him back. I don't think we will see a Pirates of the Caribbean led by Johnny Depp. But if this Margot Robbie version goes forward and works, I bet there is a possibility that somewhere down the line we get some kind of cameo or something involving Jack Sparrow.
Right. And now that all depends on how they set up the Margot Robbie spinoff, rebrand, reboot, whatever. If it takes place in the same time as Captain Jack Sparrow, then that would make sense. But it's pretty definite as of today. No, it does not look like Johnny Depp will be coming back as Captain Jack Sparrow. I'm sorry to all the fans out there who have been wanting it. I'm a fan that wants to see Johnny Depp return back into playing that character again. The last time he did the movie Pirates 5, wasn't a big fan.
Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Dead Men Tell No Tales. I wasn't a big fan of that movie, which sucks because growing up,
I liked that one.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did. I didn't like On Stranger Tides because it introduced a bunch of characters that they were just kind of boring.
Right.
Like the dude that saved the mermaid. I don't remember his name, but he was boring.
Oh,
you know, and they had these
Blackbeard.
Weird.
No, was that Blackbeard?
No, not Blackbeard was cool. I liked Blackbeard.
Okay. Yeah.
But it just some of the other characters were a little boring. We started following these storylines. Like, they're trying to make up for not having Orlando Bloom there. And I think that was an issue, trying to give us a new version of an Orlando Bloom type of character. And I think that was a problem. That's why they didn't bring him back for Dead Men Tell No Tales, which was a lot smoother of a film.
Right. I'm a little disappointed by this news, BC. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of Johnny Depp. I was very happy about the way that the trial played out, not because I wanted Johnny Depp to win per se, but I was glad for him to have his truth. And for the public to form their own opinion, and I was able to form mine with the evidence that was brought forth. But yeah, it definitely seemed like what he was saying in trial, that it doesn't look like he's ever going to come back to play that character, which I know he loves that character. He named his son after that character.
Yeah.
It's a character that he definitely loves, and I would love to see him back in that. I mean, I'm in one of those camps. I always believe that you can always recast characters, and you can always recast actors to play characters, especially generational characters. Captain Jack Sparrow is one that is kind of like that's the guy. I mean, that's him. You could do Pirates of the Caribbean movies, but Captain Jack Sparrow is Johnny Depp. That's how I feel about it. So it is kind of a big blow for film fans around the world who want to see Johnny Depp come back as Captain Jack, at least for today, right? At least for today. It does not look like that is moving forward. There is no $301 million deal. That was totally made up. Rumor debunked. That's just about it, BC. Do we have anything else to talk about it on this topic?
No, I think that's about it.
That's about it. And with that being said, guys, how do you feel about Johnny Depp no longer, with the rumor being debunked, of course, and him not coming back as Captain Jack Sparrow? I would love to hear your thoughts. Please comment down below and let us know as we move on to our next topic of discussion, which actually, BC, I want to go ahead. I'm just going to lead you into it because you've been hyped. You've been hyped. Yeah, okay, we've watched Obi-Wan Kenobi. We felt Obi-Wan Kenobi in BC. I'm going to just give it to you. Do you feel justified?
So it's so good to be right. I'm just saying. It is so fantastic when you find out, man, you so smart. You just the smartest person on the planet. SMURT, smart. I'm a genius. And I called it. This was a movie that they made into a series. What up, son? Represent. I know my shit.
He's right, guys. So as you guys know, we just had the Kenobi series come out, and 6 episodes is what we got. 6 episodes is what we enjoyed, or kind of, somewhat. But that's what we were given. However, it does turn out that BC was correct. The one of the earlier writers, I guess, on one of the earlier projects, came out and spoke about what was to happen, and he actually told the world that the Kenobi series was originally meant to be a trilogy, not 1, not 2, 3 Kenobi movies to detail how he got from being Obi-Wan Kenobi from Episode 3 all the way up to where we meet him in A New Hope. BC, I read the article. I read what he said. I read what how he structured. Very good article. How they structured the 3 movies. And man, what if? That's all I can say about this. What do you think, man?
I do think it probably would have worked gone a little smoother if it was a film. Like that's the one thing I was saying. My biggest criticism of Obi-Wan was you could tell it was a film script that was cut into a series and added to make a series, which is what slowed it down. And where its biggest negatives were the fact that this was not meant to be a show. So I think I would have loved I love the pitch. I love the idea of what they wanted to do with 3 movies, which makes you go, okay, do they bring this dude back and go into his ideas for season 2 and 3?
Right, and that's what it's going to lead into. So the way that he kind of structured it, if you guys want to know, pretty much he said that the Obi-Wan tale should be told in a 3-part movie, right? A trilogy, detailing certain aspects of Kenobi's journey as he becomes who he ends up becoming. The first movie was pretty much what we got in the series, Obi-Wan and his accepting of the Force and everything. But the second movie was going to delve into his training with Qui-Gon Jinn and ultimately accepting his fate as sacrificing himself for the Republic, right? Which he ends up doing in episode 4. So it's kind of him coming to terms with the action that he's going to take later on in episode 4, giving you an idea of like, okay, this is why he did what he did, because it is a little awkward, I guess, if you're just watching episode 4 after watching episode 3 about how Obi-Wan just sacrifices himself. It could be a little awkward. So they wanted to kind of delve into that a little bit more with that second movie. Curious to see if they're going to use that idea for a potential second season. But of course, we talked about that yesterday. Now, BC, we did talk about this yesterday. You said that you weren't on board with the second season. With this being told that there was a trilogy in the works, with the first movie kind of being what we got in the first season, would you now like to see that second season kind of echoing what he mentioned?
As long as there's no Vader, I would actually really be interested in an idea that that Obi-Wan now, or Ben now, has to figure out how to accept the fact that he's going to have to sacrifice. I didn't even think about that aspect of it. And now when you put it out there, you go, oh, that sounds really interesting to really delve into what's going to happen, why he knows, or how he gets to the point where he's going to be ready to just say, all right, man, take me out. Because when he goes out, he's immediately ready to be like, all right, Luke, let's do this. Yeah, immediately that next night, he's like, yo, Luke, use the Force. Don't use that computer thing. You know? Right. So I think that could be a very interesting story to tell, as long as, once again, we're staying away from Vader and we keep the hunt of him going, hey, at some point you're going to have to face Vader again. Right. And this is what's going to have to happen.
Right. What I would like to see if they were to do this, and now when he broke down the second movie, to me, the second movie seems to me more prime for a series than the first one. That journey he has to go on for that self-sacrifice, learning under Qui-Gon Jinn. There's a few ways that this can work. One, you got to put Qui-Gon Jinn in it. Quiet a bit. Make Obi-Wan Kenobi.
So you got to get Liam back, which could be difficult.
It could be. I mean, he's a very busy man.
Because it looked like he filmed his scenes from his living room. So I don't think he's much of a let's go do television kind of thing. He's too busy Taken 983 with a different name.
Yeah, so it has to be that. I don't really want to see any Vader, echoing what you said. I really don't want to even see Inquisitors. Now, if he still has to be on the run, I get that. No more Wolf and Cub. Yeah. No more he has to go rescue Luke or Leia or Grogu or some kid who can't fend for themselves. We've seen that. I'm done with that, right? Yeah. I would like for this to be more of a personal journey. If you can make this a personal journey for Obi-Wan, which I think is what a lot of people really wanted from the first season, was a personal journey. And we got a lot of different stuff, but this one, if it's talking about his self-sacrifice, this echoes personal journey. So I would definitely like to see this if they want to go this way, but it was really interesting for them to finally admit, this was going to be a movie, but it was more surprising that they said it was going to be a trilogy. That's the biggest thing.
You know what? This is where you could bring Reva back for this and have her working with Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon. And that way we have a character that we can get connected to that at some point we have to kill off.
Yeah, and it could be a much more impactful.
You could really redeem her a little bit more and give her a better role to work with.
Yeah, maybe he learns the self-sacrifice thing because she does it, and he sees that it's going to come to his point at some time. It could be they could use this character and definitely rebrand her in the second season, which I definitely think the character needs. I definitely think the character needs a very much fresh rebranding.
Not even just the character, but Moses Ingram herself, because, again, bullshit aside,
right?
She wasn't given the best material. I believe she was given material that was hastily written. Right. And so she just did the best she could with what she had. And I think given a focus, they could really pull something really great out of that character.
I totally agree. Guys, this is the news that we just kind of found out. What do you guys think about this Obi-Wan Kenobi trilogy that was supposed to happen that was ultimately scrapped to make way for the series? I would love to hear your thoughts about it. Please leave your comment down below and let us know what you guys think about it as we move on to our very next topic. And our next topic for today has to go back. We're gonna take a visit back to the Sonyverse real quick because we got some news. We got some Spider-Man news. It looks like the Madam Web movie is quickly adding to its cast, and they have added Emma Roberts to the cast of Madam Web in a currently undisclosed character. I do not believe they disclose who she's going to be playing, but they have tapped Emma Roberts, known from, I remember her from We Are the Millers. BC sent me this yesterday, and I was like, We Are the Millers. But she was also in Scream 4. She was also in, help me out, BC. She was also, what's the other scary show?
She was in Scream Queens, show. She was the lead on that, and then she's also done Palo Alto, Nerve, Who We Are Now. She got gained fame with Aquamarine, Nancy Drew, American Horror Story. She's a pretty regular on there, and they just wrapped production on Maybe I Do, which is a upcoming rom-com. So
right, so all the things that, because I'm not a big horror person, I'm not. So she's
really?
Nope.
I did not know that.
I'm not.
I'm more of a slasher fan than anything else.
Yeah.
But every year, right around a little bit right after my birthday, which is the beginning of August, I start a horror movie marathon that takes me like 3 months to get through all my favorite horror movies.
See, that's not me, bro. I don't do it, man. Bro, okay, in a black family, we don't do spirits. We don't do ghosts.
Makes sense.
We don't do a lot of that creepy Jeepers Creepers shit, man. That's not what we do. So I never really got into horror. So I'm not I don't know her filmography all too well because most of the movies and stuff that she's in center around that element. Mm-hmm. So I just haven't really seen what she's done. Not to say that she may not be a talented actress for this role, but in BC, I obviously haven't seen her in much of these things. I've seen her We Are the Millers, and she was fine in that movie. But since you are the horror expert here, how do we feel about Emma Roberts? Emma Roberts joining the cast for Madam Web.
I love Emma Roberts. I think she is fantastic, and she can play crazy really well. Good. Like, she can really make you believe that she is just a sociopath. And I love it so much. She has a good sarcastic tone when she talks, and I love the energy and the vibe that she brings to a project. So I love bringing this in. I want her to be some kind of villain in this.
Now, okay, that'll be a cool thing because I didn't think about that. Now, Madam Web, if you guys aren't familiar with the character, she is a Spider-Man property. She's actually like an omnipotent, multi-universal, dimensional Spider Queen kind of person. So she's able to tap into all the Spider-Mans across the multiverses. When I heard this pick, my initial thought was maybe we're getting like a Silk. Maybe we're getting like maybe she's going to be a Gwen Stefani. We're going to not Gwen Stefani, a Gwen Stacy and we're going to get Spider-Gwen. Because this is what Madam Web is
Ooh.
about. So maybe are we going to get Spider-Gwen? Are we going to get Silk? Are we going to get any other these spider people? That would be an interesting take on that. Have you thought about that?
No, I didn't even think about that, but that is something that's a very interesting, because the cast is really strong. You got Sydney Sweeney, Celeste O'Connor, Isabella Merced, and Tahir Rahim. And like, I love Isabella too. She's one of my up and coming stars that I love to watch. So Dakota Johnson will be playing Madam Web now.
Web.
Again, this is a very different take, I think, on Madam Web, because every time we've seen Madam Web, she's been rather old.
Right.
And we went
old
and
in the wheelchair.
Dakota Johnson.
Yeah. It's an interesting pick. I think Dakota Johnson's going to do great. I'm no longer in the idea. A long time ago, I have got rid of the notion that people can't play certain characters, right? It's over with. If you still believe that, like, no, this person will be a terrible casting choice, just stop it. You've been wrong most of the time. So I trust him in this regard. My only issue with this, and I mentioned this to you yesterday, was I just don't trust Sony.
That's what I was about to say. I was like, yesterday going into this, you was like, I'm not on, I'm over. I'm done with Sony. And I gotta say, I don't see why.
Morbius.
Oh, okay. All right. Morbius. That's over here on the right. That's not good.
Right.
Homecoming. Good. Far From Home.
I don't count. I don't count.
No
those.
Way Home. Okay, cool. You don't cast it. Venom. Great. Let There Be Carnage. Great. Come on.
Venom was good. Venom was good. Let There Be Carnage was. I gave it a 65-70. Like, I did enjoy it. I wish it was better, mainly because I was really looking forward to Carnage. Carnage is one of my favorite.
I was
villains.
too. And was it the best representation of characters we know?
No.
It is not.
I love what Woody Harrelson did with them.
Was it fun as hell?
It was fun.
Absolutely.
It was fun, and that is correct. I will give you that. That Morbius movie was just utterly terrible. Now, I don't think that this will be another Morbius. I think that they definitely learned their lesson. I will tell you this. I will watch Craven.
Mm-hmm.
And if Craven delivers, then my anticipation for this movie will go up, right? It's just whenever you leave Sony to do what Sony does, normally you get a Sony thing. That's why I said I'm not counting the Spider-Man stuff. They still got Kevin Feige kind of talking to him a little bit about at least how to structure that. So I'm just a little nervous about Sony's participation in it. Nothing to do with Emma Roberts. I'm happy for Emma Roberts. Congratulations. Glad to see that you're getting casted into these bigger properties. I think it's going to be good for her career, and I cannot wait to see what she does with this character. So, I mean, whatever character she ends up being. Like I said, I definitely would like to see a Silk. I definitely would like to see a Gwen Stacy type. I definitely want to see a Spider person. I mean, I think if you're going to do Madam Web, unless Madam Web is going to start swinging from buildings, which I don't think that's not her power to necessarily do that. Because it's more like the Speed Force for spiders. It's what Madam Web. It's more like what Madam Web is in control of. She's more of in charge of like the Speed Force for spiders. For spider people. If that makes sense. If you don't get it, you just have to go look it up. But that's about it. I mean, I am reluctant to get excited for this. I'm reluctant to get excited for any Sony property, but I will, as always, be there. BC, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
I'm the opposite. I'm never reluctant. I am always excited for everything. I'm like, yes, let's do this.
I wish I could be, man. I wish I could be. Now, with DC, I'm here for everything DC does. Well, Marvel, I'm here for everything Marvel does. With Sony,
Really? Everything DC does, you're just like, Sony you're weary of, but DC you're not?
I'm a DC apologist, bro. I am.
Okay. I can understand it because I'm an X-Men apologist.
Yes,
I love BVS. But I also will say, no, I understand why you don't like that movie.
That is true. No, that is true. I understand why people don't like BVS. I don't
understand why anyone likes BVS.
I love BVS. I love BVS, the Ultimate Edition.
I hate that one too.
I love that movie. honestly, that is
The only thing good is the Batman scenes. Just
that's why I love that
fast
movie.
forward the rest.
So why I love that movie. No, but I did enjoy. I mean, I like to see Henry Cavill as Superman. I like what he does. I wish they would give him more to do. The only DC movie that I really was kind of like no on was the Birds of Prey.
Yeah,
that they came out with.
That is the bottom of the tier. But it does make me really sad that I don't like that movie because one of my friends is one of the goons at the end.
Oh, really? That's cool. I mean, I wanted to like it because Ewan McGregor was in it.
Yep.
And he was playing, one of the most slept-on Batman villains with Black Mask. So it was set up to be great. Anyway, this has nothing to do with Madam Web. We're here to talk about Madam Web. Look, I think that anyone getting casted, especially anyone getting casted that's newer, that's, not a bigger talent, I think that's good for them. I think it's good for the industry. I like to see that. I just get apprehensive when I hear Sony and this Spider-Verse stuff. And it's not just because of Venom. It's mainly because of the North Korea hack, right? Like when they wanted to do an Aunt May spinoff movie and all that stuff. It still leaves a bitter taste with me. So, guys, that's our thoughts on Madam Web recruiting Emma Roberts to in their cast. I would love to hear what you guys think about this. Comment below and let us know your thoughts as we move on to our very next topic. And our very next topic, BC, I'm excited to talk about this one. I sent this one to you, actually. This is one I'm really, really looking forward to for many reasons, and all of my conspiracy theorist friends are already talking about this. So, we have, us living in America, we all know about the JFK assassination. We all know, about the Dallas Drive and the convertible, and Oswald killed Kennedy, right? That's what we all know. However, there's still a lot of mystery surrounding the assassination of our once beloved president, right? One of the big rumors that's been circulating, I remember my dad telling me this rumor about JFK's ties with the mafia, with the mob, right? But now it seems like that we're actually getting to peel back the layers of this onion, where it seems like David Mamet, two-time Oscar-nominated scribe and Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright, is actually going to be reworking a script for a movie called 2 Days/1963. And so this movie is supposed to take place showcasing the 48 hours leading up to the JFK assassination. It's really, really interesting, especially the part where it was originally written by the great nephew of, I guess, the person that actually orchestrated this whole thing. So cool, man.
Momo Giancana.
Dude, this is nuts, man. I didn't think we was going to get this yesterday. This has everything of like a Godfather type vibe to me, if they do this correctly. I'm excited about this. BC, you're hearing this news. What is your thoughts about the 48 hours leading up to JFK's assassination movie, the 2 Days, 1963? What are your thoughts?
Bruh, I'm so excited. Yeah, you know me. You know my gangster mentality.
Facts.
I am so excited for this. I cannot wait to see Momo Giancana out there. I love the idea that this leads up, like the 48 hours before. That's what I love about this. And I also love that the family of Sam is a part of this. His great nephew wrote the original script, and his daughter, Bonnie, will be a consultant and executive producer on it. So that's what really makes me excited about this. In 1957, I believe, Giancana became the boss of the Chicago outfit out there. So, this guy is a dude that helped JFK get elected.
Wow.
If you believe everything. Yeah. And then when JFK kind of turned on him, he apparently helped orchestrate him being taken out right here in Dallas, Texas. So I'm all about everything that this has to do. I cannot wait for the casting. What bothers me is this is perfect for Joe Pesci.
It is.
But
You're
I don't think
right.
there's no way we get Pesci.
Do you know who I want to see in this movie?
Who?
And mainly because I think he's in The Offer. Is Miles Teller's in The Offer? I don't know why.
Have you finished The Offer yet?
I haven't even started The Offer.
Me neither. It's almost, I want a day that I was waiting so I can binge it, and now I just need a day away from work so I could binge the entire thing and then rewatch all The Godfather.
Facts, man. But this has every making of that to me, where when you read the article, he's talking about how he sat at the table. He was like sitting at the table and they talked about this, and he wrote this script and he gave it to like his aunt or something, and they're like, yo, you're 85% accurate. Like, I'll take that 85%. Let me see what you're talking about. And they're talking about it's going to be events that have not been talked about before. Which is really, really interesting, because I do know that, aren't we getting on to that time where the files are supposed to be released, or did that time pass? I can't remember the actual details of actual historical events.
That I don't know.
But it's really interesting nonetheless. This has been one of the biggest conspiracies in the course of our country's history, is what took place behind the JFK assassination. And even if this is totally made up, which I don't think it is.
Of course not.
It's definitely not. I am here for it, man. This is one of these movies that when you hear about it right now, it's like, no, I don't think anyone's going to talk about this. But when this movie comes out, it should be one of the movies that is taking over like the Oscar nominations. This is what it sounds like to me. It's one of these early Oscar type movies, if they do this well. BC, do you have any more thoughts about this? I mean,
dude, we need more gangster flicks.
We do.
I'm always on board for mobster. I want a new age Sopranos. You know, I want something new that we can keep. I really want a show, but we need more movies like this, because this is a genre that it's used well when they use it, but they don't use it very often.
Right.
So I would love to go back to this world more and more and more. Mobsters, mafia, I love it. I can never get enough of it. I am constantly watching. I don't know if you watched Fear City, the documentary, the 3-episode documentary on Netflix about them taking down the mob and the racketeering charge. Oh, it was so good. I will watch documentaries. I'll read books. Anything involving the mob, I'm always on board for. So if this is coming, and this is not only involving the mob, but the assassination of JFK that happened here in death. My dad was in the audience, was at the parade.
Wow. Really?
My grandma took him out of school to take him down to the parade when the president was here.
That's crazy, bro. That's awesome. I mean, not awesome, because I know that's like freaking traumatic as hell, but that's pretty cool to still say like, yo, I know someone who was there. Dude, this is super cool, man. I definitely want to see this. I'm definitely interested in it. I'm very curious though to hear your thoughts about the director choice. So the person that they tapped for the director seems to have been a playwright for the past 15 years. Also, he's been wanting to take on this project since he watched the other JFK movie that came out back in the 90s. He's been working on something for this nature. So this is something very personal to him, and him wanting to tell this story, which I think only adds to the anticipation that I'm having for this. BC, I mean, that's my thoughts on this. Do you have anything else?
I agree. It is an interesting choice. And at first I was like, why this guy? He's just doing plays. And then I start looking at him and going, oh, he's a Pulitzer Prize winning writer. That's pretty big.
It's not easy to do.
He did. And, you know, as far as the films he's done, I don't know a lot of them, but he did he was in charge of Wag the Dog. And I don't know if you remember Wag the Dog.
I heard about that.
Robert De Niro, Dustin Hoffman.
Yes. Okay. Now, yep, I remember. He directed that.
Good. Yes. Good film. And so immediately I went, okay, there's one I can connect him with. I like his style. I think this will work. And I'm right there with you. I think there's a very good possibility that we see Oscar contention with this film.
It's the only way to go. I mean, that's if I'm making this movie, that's what I'm going for. I'm going for stellar. This movie requires casting. I mean, top choice casting. So I expect to hear names kind of like a Miles Teller for this, or Robert Pattinson or something like that. Some really good, talented actors. Maybe some young, some new talent I would like to see, but you definitely need some good talent in there. Joe Pesci, you brought that name up, would be great for this. Maybe De Niro steps into this. I don't know where you go with this. Unfortunately, help me, he just passed away from Goodfellas.
Ray Liotta.
Ray Liotta, he passed away because he would have crushed this. This is right up his lane. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this. This is one of these movies that I would like to go see with my dad. You know, because he's gonna probably want to tell me in the theater all the conspiracies that he may have heard around this time. It's pretty awesome. So, guys, what do you guys think about this news about 2 days, 1963? Would love to hear your guys' thoughts. Comment down below and let us know as we move on to our very next topic. And our very next topic for today, BC, centers around your world of your reality. A little bit of wrestling news. Well, of course, we do know that Chris Hemsworth is currently, I don't know if they finished shooting, but he was getting jacked pretty hugely to take on Hulk Hogan in the Hulk Hogan biopic. And now it looks like Zac Efron is digging his toes into the wrestling ring a little bit as he's going to be headlining this movie centered around the Ice Claw, right?
The Iron
Claw. Pardon me. Around the Iron Claw. BC, you're a big wrestling guy, right?
Well, I was a wrestler for 10 years. I retired as ETCW World Heavyweight Champion, which I held the title for over 1,000 days. I was a 5-time Texas Tag Team Champion.
5-time.
So 5-time. I'd say I'm a little bit of a professional wrestling fan.
Cool. So you might have a little bit of an idea about what we're talking about here. So you're hearing Zac Efron's going to be being the Iron Claw, and they're mainly particularly focusing on the family. How do we feel about Zac Efron?
Let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a little bit of a story here, Lando.
What's up?
As a professional wrestler, I was very proud of the fact that I was a pro wrestler. Every time I met somebody, I'd be like, yeah, I'm a pro wrestler. I like to say that. Inevitably, every single time here in Texas, every single fucking time I mention that I'm a pro wrestler, someone in the conversation has to go, oh, do you know who the Von Erichs are? Because the Von Erichs are the most famous professional wrestling family in Texas. They lived here. They ran the territory. This was their world. And they all had tragic deaths except for one. There's one still alive.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yes. It's a very sad tale. But every single time anyone found out I was a pro wrestler in Texas, oh, you know about the Von Erichs. Like, well, let me and I'd be like, yes, I know who the Von Erichs are. Well, let me tell you what happened to them. And people would have to explain to me how they all died. I'm like, oh, it's like I never knew that. So during my wrestling career, the Von Erichs were a very annoying topic for me. But Zac Efron stepping in as the Iron Claw, the matriarch of the family, Fritz Von Erich, bro, I am all in on this. He has the look, he has the size, he has the charisma. He's gonna be fantastic in this role. And to be honest, we have been getting a lot of really good wrestling tales. You know, we had The Wrestler, it kind of started with back with Mickey Rourke. Then The Rock brought us Fighting with My Family, which was an incredible film. On TV, we have Stephen Amell's Heels.
I love that
great show.
I love that show, man. I love that show.
So good.
It's so good. totally stepped on. I'm waiting for the next season to come out. I don't know when it's coming out.
Very soon. I know they've wrapped filming, so it's going to be coming soon.
If you guys don't know, Stephen Amell, Green Arrow, has a fantastic wrestling show. It's actually what he left Green Arrow to go do, and it's on Stars. First season is out. It's great. It's fantastic. Go watch it. Sorry.
And then of course we have the sitcom Young Rock, which is
so adorable.
Also, yeah, it's very close. And what's good about this is it all has gotten wrestling
on the map
as close as possible to what it is like behind the scenes. I cannot explain to you the world of wrestling behind the scenes. I just can't do it. If you're not there, it's really complicated and hard to understand. But once you're a part of that, it's a family. And they get that right in these shows, and I have no doubt that they're going to be able to get this right in the Iron Claw. I cannot wait to see exactly how in depth they go, because Fritz died from cancer, but all of his kids, five of his sons passed with some kind of crazy accident or an illness or suicide. Like, it is a dark tale, this family. And I know Dark Side of the Ring has done an episode on them as well, which is very intense and kind of hard to watch. But this is really going to be an awesome story to bring to light, especially with Zac Efron attached.
I love the idea that Zac Efron's going to be playing this character. Zac Efron, by the way, he's kind of doing a little bit of what Robert Pattinson did. He kind of just went away, and he's been doing these just awesome character roles recently. His take on Bundy is pretty haunting. He was fantastic. So his range is there. One of my favorite wrestling shows that you didn't bring up, BC, was Glow.
Glow. You know what? Glow season 1, fantastic. It started going downhill after that.
It did. I just loved those characters. I loved what they were building. I just enjoyed the show. I was able to watch it with my wife. She was able to get into it because my wife wasn't really a big wrestling person, so it was good for her to watch. But I love that too. And of course, with the Schmodown, we're already used to kind of that wrestling vibe. Definitely something I'm interested in. Curious to see if they're going to cast any actual wrestlers in this. I assume that they will. I wouldn't be surprised if you see like a Stone Cold in this, or a playing some.
I think it's more possible to cast lower level wrestlers, ones that are not as well known, which is what you see a lot with Fighting With My Family. Some of the background people were kind of the lower wrestlers. That you don't know as well, the mid-card kind of guys, and stunt work and stuff like that. But like you see some mid-card guys on Young Rock. You see some top tier on heels. You saw CM Punk there.
Yeah.
So we could get more, but who knows? I'm all on board. No matter what, I'm excited for this.
I'm mainly talking about the senior wrestlers who are kind of no longer wrestling. Because some of these guys, they do act. A lot of these guys they're actors to an extent. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see one or two in this. But I'm really, really excited about this. I was glad that you brought this to me because I haven't seen anyone talk about this at all. At all.
This was actually something that came out. This actually came out, dropped last week. But we were having technical issues, and it's something I just still wanted to talk about because I'm really excited. This is a good, cool show.
Man, I'm looking forward to it. I want to ask Kaiser actually about what he thinks about this. I know he's a huge wrestling fan also. Guys,
I would love to hear his opinion on this.
Yeah, I would definitely want to take, because he's all into the historical, the more classic golden era of wrestling and everything. It's really cool, man, and good for Zac Efron. I'm glad that he's making these choices because everyone is like fan casting him to be, of course, a superhero or something, but I like how he's staying in this lane.
You know what? I really want to see him as a superhero. I do. Don't get me wrong. I want him in Marvel or DC, something
later.
But yeah, we have time. We have to him and Taron Egerton. I want in there too.
I mean, maybe. I mean, you never know. Marvel's going to be announcing something at at Comic-Con. He might end up being Human Torch or something. You never really know.
Oh, there has been a lot of talk of Efron possibly being the Human Torch.
So we never really know. I would like to see him there, but I do like how he's just, he was typecasted after his High School Musical days, right? He definitely was. And he kind of still had that image in like Baywatch. But lately he's been doing more of these dramatic movies, and I think it's a good thing for him. He's definitely showcasing his range as an actor. He's developing into a dynamite actor, man. I'm enjoying everything that I'm seeing him in. Guys, that's our thoughts on Zac Efron and becoming the Iron Claw, taking on this new wrestling biopic. What are you guys' thoughts about this? Are you looking forward to it? Are you interested in more wrestling biopics? Is there a wrestler that you would like to see get a biopic? I am personally, BC, I'm waiting for the Vince McMahon biopic.
They've been talking about that for so long, and it's a good thing they haven't done it because he's back in the news again. Yes. So we got to wait and get this story, man. Yeah. So we can have that for the biopic. We could do a whole trilogy of Vince McMahon films. You could start off with him taking the WWF from his father. Then you could go and do the first steroid scandal. And then the third one could be this new scandal that's going on now with him. You could do so much with Vince McMahon. But yeah, I love the idea of bringing in the Iron Claw. I've met the only surviving Von Erich. He lives out in Hawaii now. But I'm quite excited for this. This is going to be fun.
BC, not to put you on the spot at all about this. Is this movie being made with the family support? Do we know?
That I do not know.
It's always curious to know.
I assume
where the family sits.
I assume so.
Yeah, it's always curious to know where the family sits with this because if the family's normally in support, I've noticed if the family's in support of it, they normally let people dig into the good stuff.
I'm pretty sure the family was on board with the Dark Side of the Ring, and if they're okay with that, I think they'll be good with Zac Efron playing the Iron Claw.
Absolutely. Well, guys, that's our thoughts on Zac Efron joining the wrestling ring. What do you guys think about this?
I will say I had a match once against Jerome Daniels, and Jerome is he's a wrestler here in Texas. And he's got me in the corner. He's got me up on the turnbuckle, and he's about to suplex me off the top, right? And out of nowhere, the audience just starts chanting for the Iron Claw. And then so he's just out of his mind goes, all right, cool, Iron Claw, and puts it on me, man. And they went nuts.
That's awesome, man. Guys, what do you guys think about this news? Are you excited to see Zac Efron take on the Iron Claw, take on the role of the Iron Claw in this new wrestling biopic? I would love to hear your thoughts. So would BC. So leave your comments down below and let us know as we move on to our very next topic. And our very next topic was actually going to be of a off the top because it actually happened an hour ago. BC sent it to me right before he jumped onto the show. It looks like we got the brand new trailer for Hocus Pocus 2. It debuted. We got it. We were able to watch it beforehand. BC, you got a chance to watch the Hocus Pocus trailer, obviously, because you sent it to me. What did you think about this trailer, man?
This was really cute, man. I'm all on board for this. I was worried when they first announced it. And again, this is, I think I'd classify this more as a teaser.
Yeah,
because there's not a lot to it. You don't really get a sense, but you get a feel of where we're going and how we're coming back. It looks like we got these young girls that idolize witch culture, and because we have that all over. We have people that idolize witch culture and are a part of witch culture, and it's pretty cool. I've got a lot of friends that are in that, and so you see them, and it kind of looks like they're doing something that happens to bring back the Sanderson sisters, and they all look fabulous. The little gag at the end of the teaser where they're like, y'all are looking for the stage, aren't you?
Yeah.
Loved it.
I thought that was good.
It just looks fun. And that's all I want from this is fun. Cause I grew up on the original. Yeah. So I'm excited for this.
Me too, man. I remember watching it. I was telling you this. I was watching the Disney Channel. The last time I watched it, it was a Disney Channel original movie. Okay, so with that being said, my expectations of this movie is not super high, right? As far as big blockbuster. Nope, it's a Disney Channel movie, and I'm okay with that. That's perfect with me. That's what I want it to be because it maintains its magic, no pun intended. When they keep it that way, the Sanderson sisters were always so fun. Glad to see that they're all back, especially after all this time. It's good to see them all back. They look great. They still look funny. They look like they weren't gone at all. It doesn't feel like it's been 20 years since we've seen these characters since the last time. The one part of the trailer, I didn't know that Sam Richardson was in this. The black guy. He's in. Yeah. He's in this, and I love him. He plays one of my favorite characters in Veep.
Oh yeah,
absolutely hilarious in Veep. So I definitely think he's going to do well in this. I'm looking forward to it, and it looks adorable. And it kind of has that same vibe. It's a bunch of girls who are into this magic culture, and they release the sisters, right? And that's where we pick up. So you're right. I think it's more like a teaser, but it's more trailer 1 teaser kind of, and we don't really know too much plot. But I don't need to know plot. It's good to know that they're coming back.
I love seeing Doug Jones back.
Oh yes, how to forget Doug Jones?
He wasn't in the teaser, but I know he's in the movie, so I'm excited to see him back. I do wish we were bringing back Thora Birch, Vanessa Shaw, I think her name was, and I don't remember the kid Max's the actor's name. Yeah. But I would love to see Max and Danny and Allison back as well. But I think this is just why I haven't been excited about it. I'm not gonna lie. When they announced it, I'm like, all right, whatever. But seeing this teaser, it just got me excited. I'm like, this looks fun.
It's just a fun movie. Actually, when you sent me the link, I left here and I went upstairs. Lindsay is upstairs doing some work. And she had like Rick and Morty playing in the background. I turned that off and I didn't tell her what I was putting on. I just turned on YouTube, put the trailer on, and she's watching it. I didn't tell her what she was watching. She's just watching a random trailer. And when she saw the sisters, she's just, and that's who this movie is for. And when the first thing that she says, the trailer ends, it looks good. They look great, right? And that's what she says. And that's the exact same reaction that I had. And, the excitement on her face is enough, right?
Yeah.
I was the same way with you. I was worried at first when I heard that they was going to make this again because most Disney Channel original movie sequels tend to be pretty bad. But this one looks good, and the way that it's shot looks well. The way that it's directed looks well. The way visually it looks great. I'm here for it. I'm on board. You were saying?
Hold on, I'm trying to look this up here. The film was released in the United States. I don't think Hocus Pocus was an original. I thought it was in the. Yeah, no, it was in theaters.
Dude, I thought that thing was a Disney Channel original movie. The amount of times they played it, I remember watching a little kid do the jump split kick.
Wow. So the original Hocus Pocus was released in 1993 and came in 4th place on its opening weekend, only grossing $8 million. Dropped out of the top 10 after 2 weeks. It came out the same day as Free Willy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Free Willy was the shit.
Yeah, so it goes up against Free Willy and just gets slaughtered.
Well, yeah.
And then apparently becomes a cult, one of the cult status films.
Right.
You know? So that's interesting to see because I don't remember any of that. I just remember watching Hocus Pocus.
Okay.
But yeah, core memory unlocked. Free Willy.
Man, Free Willy had the Michael Jackson song. And I love that song, man. Every time I hear that song, it takes me back to Free Willy. So I never really forgot about Free Willy. It's actually one of the earliest movies I remember watching. When did that movie come out? You said 92?
93.
93.
So 30 years ago.
30.
Did I do math right?
Yeah, no, you're right.
7 times.
No, 29 years because I'm 30. I was born in 92. So that's why I was like, yo, Free Willy, that was one of my earliest movies I remember watching. Makes sense. Yeah, I'm excited for this, man. It looks good. The CGI looks good in it. Like the effects that they have in there looks good.
Mm-hmm.
It looks very much updated, but yet still implanted in its roots. You know,
Facts.
And that's the one thing I liked about it. What's the place? That's not Halloween Town. The place.
No. Salem, Massachusetts.
Salem. Halloween Town is another one.
Halloween Town was a Disney Channel original.
That's probably the one I was thinking of. Yeah, I'm excited for this movie, BC, and I'm glad that they released the trailer. I was skeptical, but now I'm going to watch it with the wife, and you know, it's definitely a movie that you could take your kids to go see, of course. Yeah, I'm excited for it, guys. What do you guys think about the Hocus Pocus 2 trailer being dropped on us? Have you guys had a chance to see it? If you did, what are your thoughts on it? We would love to hear it, guys. Comment down below and let us know your thoughts as we move on to our next topic. Oh, nope. I think that's all we got for today, BC.
Yep, that's the end of the day.
That's all we got for today, guys. I want to thank you guys so much for joining us today on another episode of the Lando Project. We will be back again with you guys tomorrow. But if you guys are still with us, please hit that like button, subscribe, and share as we're on our road for 10,000 subscribers. My name is Lando Pan. You can find me on all the Instagrams and Twitters in the description box down below. But BC, where can the people at home find you?
Man, you can find me on the Twitters, the Instagrams, the TikToks, all at the Grind Calls. At the Grind Calls. There we go. And don't forget to check out thegrindcalls.com for your pop culture positivity. We are answering the call to celebrate what we love.
Guys, that is a wrap. We really appreciate you guys. We will see you guys tomorrow on another episode of Lando Project. And as always, finger guns.